All rise, vous vous levez.
This is one of the courtrooms in which trials and other proceedings at the ICC take place. For the proceedings to take place in The Hague, many crucial activities need to take place in the field, thousands of kilometers from the seat of the court. Since 2005, the ICC has opened field offices to assist in implementing its ambitious mandate. The years of experience have shown that the court's field presence enables parties and participants, as well as independent bodies such as the Trust Fund for Victims, to operate effectively in situation countries. Furthermore, other stakeholders such as state authorities, international organizations, and civil society also benefit from the ICC's strong presence on the ground. But how does it work in practice? The Rome Statute has created a unique framework which allows for victims of crimes to participate in the proceedings and to claim reparations. The participation process starts with direct contact with the victims in the places where they reside. This is connected to many challenges in practice and requires understanding and respecting local traditions, working in multiple languages in countries with different degrees of economic development, and facing a range of security risks, among other concerns. This process requires individual and often innovative approaches in liaising with victims. Among other things, the registry contacts victims to inform them of their rights and helps victims complete and submit applications for participation. Field officers responsible for victims' participation and reparations regularly inform victims about the outcomes of judicial decisions regarding participation and also assist victims to obtain legal advice and organize their legal representation.
Le représentant légal a essayé de rencontrer tous les éléments du dossier qui concernent les intérêts personnels des victimes et soutenir le contraire équivaudrait à dénier aux victimes leur droit de participer de manière effective au procès.
In general, participating victims are represented by legal representatives who appear on behalf of their clients in the courtroom. It is vital for the legal representation teams not only to be ready to intervene in court, they also need to have a strong presence in the country where the victims of crimes whom they represent reside. This is necessary to build trust, to directly hear the victims' views and concerns, and to report back to the victims so they know they have been represented in court.
Aujourd'hui, pour des raisons de sécurité, il n'a pas été possible de nous rendre à Kasseni. Ainsi, nous avons déplacé les victimes résidant à Kasseni, ici à Boboro, à mi-chemin entre Bunia et Kasseni. C'est ici que va se tenir la réunion d'information.
The ICC's field offices provide the support infrastructure for legal representatives of victims to actively liaise with their clients and to allow victims to be an active part of the judicial process. The victims and communities affected by heinous crimes often live thousands of kilometers away from The Hague, where alleged perpetrators of those crimes are prosecuted. Informing the victims of the state of the proceedings in a timely and accurate manner requires registry's outreach officers to actively engage with affected communities on the ground. Outreach activities inform affected communities about the ICC's individual cases and judicial developments, but also have a broader effect. They create two-way dialogue, build trust, and display the court's commitment to the community's search for justice. The court's effective communication and engagement with victims also contribute to wider transitional justice processes and leave a positive legacy to communities even after the ICC has closed down its field presence in the country.
Oui, nous sommes sur la route pour Songolo. Nous avons connu une petite panne avec le véhicule de la police. Nous attendons que le responsable vienne nous dépanner pour qu'on continue la route. Les participants sont déjà dans la salle. J'ai demandé à notre point focal de bien vouloir le calmer parce que d'un moment à l'autre, nous allons arriver sur les lieux pour continuer l'activité. Voilà.
Reaching communities in remote areas, often with bad roads and poor communication infrastructure, can be challenging and time-consuming. Having a permanent field presence is vital in order to establish long-term and consistent contacts and build a relationship of trust with victims and affected communities.
Bonsoir chers auditeurs et auditrices de Radio Maria. Vous êtes en direct sur les ondes de Radio Maria Biafrika de Bossangoa. Et ce soir, nous avons le plaisir de vous présenter le 10e épisode intitulé « Dans la salle d'audience » dans l'affaire Le procureur contre la personne de Jean Pierre Bemba Gombo. Et vous suivrez cela en français dans un premier temps et la seconde partie en version sang.
The technology used to communicate with victims and affected communities varies from situation to situation. While the internet and social media may be widely used tools in some countries, in others, radio programs are the best way to reach audiences in remote areas. Understanding of the realities on the ground is crucial for the success of outreach efforts.
Oui, mes impressions sont bonnes, surtout que vous voyez pour la seconde fois ici chez nous, ça nous a rassurés, ça nous donne un peu de l'espoir que ce que vous faites finira à avoir un fruit. Et le fruit c'est quoi? C'est nous donner une justice équitable, juste et qui va orienter tout le monde.
Outreach personnel permanently based in the field are in the best position to tailor and communicate the messages to affected communities. As a neutral organ of the court, the registry provides support both to the prosecution and the defense, including in their field operations. The principle of equality of arms is one of the cornerstones of any credible criminal justice system. In order for accused persons to be able to defend themselves against charges brought by the prosecution, the defense teams need to be able to conduct investigations on the ground.
Il est d'autant plus important pour nous de nous rendre sur le terrain et de nous faire notre propre opinion sur ce qu'on peut dire les uns et les autres, de vérifier, si vous voulez, in situ, la réalité des choses. Il faut se rendre sur place de manière à examiner si ce que les témoins du procureur disent est crédible et la façon dont ils racontent l'histoire, si cette façon peut être compatible avec ce que nous voyons.
The registry acts as the channel of communication for all requests coming from defense teams and liaises with authorities of situation countries in this regard. Field officers play a crucial role in ensuring that such requests are handled expeditiously and that delays are minimized, thus contributing to the efficiency of judicial proceedings. Furthermore, field officers provide defense teams with necessary logistical and practical assistance so that they are able to collect evidence and interview potential witnesses in an effective manner. There can be no credible criminal trials unless the defense is able to build their own case on a solid basis. Judges may also wish to undertake a field mission to see the crime scenes and to link their first-hand experiences with the evidence presented by the prosecution and the defense. Site visits can be a part of criminal proceedings at the ICC.
So we're on the road going to Zumbe. We are to conduct the reconnaissance mission, visiting Capuzzo and Zumbe for the upcoming trial chamber to visit the road to Zumbe, Bunia Zumbe. Although it is only 20 kilometers, the road conditions are very bad, outstanding. And for this we'll need 2 hours and a half.
Il nous est apparu intéressant de se rendre dans ces localités. Tout d'abord pour voir les lieux où s'étaient déroulés les faits que nous devons juger, et ensuite pour apprécier avec nos propres yeux le récit que nous ont fait certains de ces témoins. Est-ce que tout le monde est bien présent? Est-ce que Madame sont là? Oui.
Due to the geographical distances and potential security challenges involved with most ICC cases, such visits require carefully planning and coordination on the ground. It is difficult to imagine a trial at a criminal court without witnesses. Witnesses testifying before the court mostly come to The Hague from other countries, the majority from another continent. It is the responsibility of the registry's Victims and Witnesses section to ensure protection, support and other appropriate assistance to witnesses and victims who appear before the court. Implementing the registry's mandate in relation to protecting witnesses requires novel and creative solutions to the problems faced on the ground. The ICC often cooperates extensively with national authorities to ensure that vulnerable witnesses are effectively protected. The tools available in the protection program range from round-the-clock immediate response system to address local real-time security risks, to long-term international relocations, which cannot be done without support from states. The great extent to which ICC witnesses have, throughout the years of the court's operations, been able to feel safe bears testimony to the commitment of witness protection experts working in the field. Witnesses can testify in the courtroom, but may also provide their testimonies via video link. It is the job of the registry on the ground to ensure that witnesses are prepared to testify, but also that the necessary facilities and connections are in place so that the video link testimony will not hinder the pace of the proceedings. State cooperation is of crucial importance in order for the ICC to successfully undertake all the activities in the field. As the ICC's work continues to expand to new investigations and cases, as well as into reparation phases involving more support to the Trust Fund for Victims, the court will rely more heavily on cooperation and support. Like any national authority, ICC needs a coherent operative system of cooperation with states. Cooperation provided by state authorities can range from making a local courtroom available for video link testimonies of witnesses to assisting in arrest and surrender operations. International organizations, especially UN peacekeeping missions, provide valuable assistance to the court's operations on the ground. The person leading the field office liaises with situation country authorities and the diplomatic community both to ensure that the court's cooperation needs are met and that the ICC's interlocutors have all the relevant information available. Fully operational field offices contribute in various ways to conducting fair trials at the seat of the court. Without field offices and field operations, no victims could participate in the proceedings and no witnesses could be protected, affected communities would not be informed, and neither parties nor participants could perform their tasks. In other words, justice could not be done.
All rise, veuve lever. The International Criminal Court is now in session. L'audience de la Cour pénale internationale est ouverte.